Are you following Los Pumas or the Wallabies? Stick around, I'll share my insights as these two sides go head to head in the Rugby Championship. Hey everyone, it's Coach H here, you found Inspired by Union, the channel where I discuss Southern Hemisphere rugby. Let's dive right in. Well, for the Pumas, they got a famous win in Wellington. They had a reality check at Eden Park. They come into this game on the back of a win and a loss. Whilst for the Wallabies, they were really put to the sword by the world champions. They're chasing their first win of the championship. Los Pumas, well, a positional change and 3 personnel changes for this side that plays its first home game of the competition. Gaio, Montoya and Sclavi, they're an industrious front row. They'll look to take the sting out of the Wallabies early. Molina, who has a real future in the second row, he's named at lock with Rubiolo. Crema returns to the side of the scrum after locking against the All Blacks at Eden Park. Matera and Gonzalez round out a quality world-class back three. Bertranu and Santiago Carreras, they will steer the team around the side as they look to manipulate the Wallabies and turn their backs around. Chocobares, who was excellent in Wellington, joined by his partner in crime, Cinti, these two are forming a nice combination. Carreras M, Cordero and Malia, they round out a back three that's got real pace and kicking prowess from the 15. In the 16 jersey for Los Pumas, in his final game as the veteran Augustin Creevy, he'll look to go out a winner. Vivas and Bello, they're the 2 props respectively. Petty, Lavanini and Grondona, they round out the forwards on the bench. Bazan Velez and Albornoz, they're the final 2 players named off this handy-looking Argentinian side. What's their keys to success? They'll be looking to stifle the Australians' ability to get across the gain line. Against the All Blacks in Wellington, they really got their tails up as their defence started to make some telling tackles, and Clemmer and Matera were able to hunt for the turnover. If the Australians are wayward with their kicking, then the Argentinians, they'll accommodate them with running return. If we look at Joe Schmidt's Wallabies, they've made wholesale changes and also named a new skipper. There is concern in Australian circles that the changes that are being made are very reminiscent of what Eddie Jones went through last year in their year that's best forgotten. However, I believe that they've actually got this call right. I understand Alatoa, he's coming from the bench. Tupou with the start means they do need a skipper. But Harry Wilson at number 8, he's looked to impress Joe Schmidt. He's given him the responsibility. Are we going to see a long-term skipper whilst Wright is still injured? So the Tongan Thor, yes, he gets his first start, and he's joined by his new Waratahs teammate in Angus Bell and Fassler. Nick Frost, so good across Super Rugby, returns from injury and he joins hardman Salakai Loto. These two will be critical in terms of winning set-piece ball and getting across the gain line. Valentini, Tizzano and Wilson, they get to go again as a back 3 combo. They should find the yards easier to come by, not up against the South Africans' stifling defence this week. Jake Gordon, he also returns from injury. He's got a great box kicking game and he joins Lolosio as a pivot player. A new look midfield with Stewart and Ikitau. Whilst on the wings, we've got the power in the 11 jersey for Cotton Betty. Callaway provides the X factor at 14, and Tom Wright, I have been critical of him thus far in terms of getting up into the front line and helping relieve some of the pressure from Lolosio. Nasser, Kailea, Alatoa, they're the front rowers on the bench. Williams from the West is joined by Gleeson in rounding out the 5 forwards. McDermott, Donaldson and Jorgensen, they'll provide the much needed spark when they come on late. What's the Aussies' keys to success? Well, getting across the gain line. Their ball carriers working hard around the corner. I'm looking at Angus Bell, Tupou, Salakai Loto and Valentini to be industrious, to get their head and shoulders through the Argentinian defenders and to get recycled quick ball. The kicking game of the Australians needs to be educated. The All Blacks found out the hard way in Wellington that kicking to no man's land, the Argentinians will compliment you. They'll take you on by running. Well, who do I see getting up in this one? I'm going Los Pumas in a tight one by 3. A desperate Australian side really hunting for their first win of the Rugby Championship versus a side that's got all the emotion of sending off one of their veterans and Los Pumas greats in Creevy. I'm Coach H, and you've been watching Inspired by Union.